Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome back to Us Catch World Cup 2021. I'm Elux, and joined with me in the commentating booth is Quentin. How's it going, my man?
Hey, Elix, I'm doing fine. What about you? Ready for a hyped winner bracket match?
Oh, as hyped as ever can be. We have an amazing matchup, South Korea versus Philippines. Really,
Both these teams fighting for the second top 3 position, joining Hong Kong in that podium. So huge stakes right now.
Oh yeah, really, I want to say that South Korea is the well-favored team to make it through. They're just an overall stacked team, but I'm really excited to see what the Philippines can do if the Philippines can end up getting a podium spot. They ended up beating Russia last week 6-3, and South Korea almost had a clean sweep against Chile last week 6-1.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I think most people are on the South Korean side for now, obviously because they're the massive favorites of this tournament. But the Philippines roster, they have the potential to cause an upset. I feel like if Roydo and Bunray in particular, the two main carries of their team, show up today, then one can get very close. I feel like definitely on hidden. I feel like Philippines is really strong on hidden. I'm not too certain about South Korea's hidden performances, so we'll have to see on that. But either way, joining Hong Kong on that podium, so definitely high stakes. Both these teams want to get that on that podium. South Korea used to it. Philippines has never had a podium. I believe this is best Philippines performance in CWC ever. So I mean, they've already achieved the most they've ever achieved up till now. So perhaps those nerves are a little less higher than they should be in any other case. I'm not too certain, but then again, Asian countries battling off for that second podium finish. So, and the other team is obviously dropping down to loser brackets, facing either Australia, United States, or China, depending on the outcome of the upcoming matches later on today. So we'll have to see about that. Both teams are already guaranteed of a top 6 position, which is really nice to see.
And the rolls just happened, and Philippines ended up winning the roll 88-85. So it is South Korea's ban first. Philippines will get second ban and first map choice. So if all is said and done in the day and Philippines don't end up winning the match, hey, they won the roll. That's something to go home proud of. That's the true winner of the match right there, whoever wins the roll.
Definitely. If I'm not mistaken, I actually beat Roydo in a rolling competition a couple of weeks back in our group stage match. So, I mean, it means I technically beat South Korea in rolling as well, so I'm quite happy already. Either way, we're waiting the bans coming in from South Korea and Philippines. South Korea to ban first. Assuming a no mod 1, or actually never mind, double time 2 of the Shards Air 8.4, probably the most difficult map of this entire pool. Interesting to see that South Korea bans this, perhaps feeling all full comfortable. I would expect actually South Korea to be banning the easier maps away from the hitter pool because they have just way more scaling, but then again, total time 2 of the Shards. Now we're waiting Philippines ban. I'm assuming they're going to be banning something from the hardcore double time pool as well.
Ooh, and apparently from Crowley, low insider information, they had the same ban choice, so instead they're going to go with Hard Rock 3.
That is a nice thing about winning that role, right? You can have the advantage of seeing the other team's ban, and if you have the same ban in mind, you just get a free ban, right? It's just really nice to see, and that's probably a small advantage for the Philippines. They banned Hidden 3, so Hard Rock 3 rather, so 3 hidden maps open. Assuming Hidden 2 or Hidden 3 is going to be coming up right off the get-go at that low AR. Crowley, Roydo, and Bunray for the Philippines most likely as well.
Well, I'm a huge fan of that Hidden 2 map. I've been never used to be the greatest low AR hidden fan, but Sack's slowly been easing me into it, and now they're just some of my favorite maps in the entire map pool.
Well, that makes one of us. I'm not going to lie, I think low AR hidden is probably my least favorite part of this game, just because it's so different from everything else, right? It just feels so But honestly, no, I just can't play it. Perhaps, probably haven't practiced it enough.
It's easy, Quentin. Just slow
Is it
down
easy?
your brain.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's not working for some reason. That's not working. Anyway, Philippines taking their time with their first pick. Just to see a team taking time with that first pick. Most of the times, the first pick coming quite fast because a single map has been played.
And it
then
is
three
going to be
coming in.
hit 3.
Air 8.3 convert hidden, about 3 minutes in length, a little over 3 minutes even, if I'm not mistaken.
Roido.
So we start off. Sorry,
I
go
don't
ahead,
know,
Felix.
Roido. I don't know what's hidden 3, but hidden 3 it is. Well, that's confidence if I've ever seen it right there.
I think that's just trying to mess with your opponent. I don't think he's actually being serious about it. I know Roido quite well.
We hope.
He practices map rules like an absolute madman, so I'm quite certain he practiced map pool as well. Again, Royo's a really solid low AR hidden player. I think one of the best in the world, honestly. At one, I'm not too certain what the map name is called, but that Hyperion Air 8 High CS map that is ranked. He is the best hidden scorer, and if I'm not mistaken, basically have seen it as well. So like 6 stars of Air 8 CS5 or something hidden. So it's true, playing Royo's skill and low AR hidden. So definitely wise becoming in front of Philippines. I'm curious to see what roster South Korea going to be bringing on hidden, because there's not really any main hidden players on their team. Perhaps W7, he plays a lot of hidden, but it's mostly high AR hidden, and I'm not too certain about low AR hidden. But then again, he's in the room, so probably playing Abstract, decent choice. That third spot is going to be, I believe, Berea. I think Berea is the best choice for that third spot.
Yeah, I seen earlier QWHJ asking if Berea can be invited to the match, so I would say that's a safe bet, them coming in.
Roido claiming he hasn't played this map. I don't believe it, honestly. Personally, perhaps he hasn't. Perhaps he has. There are these type of people that just do not practice map rules and just go in blind, which is a huge risk in my opinion. But then again, sight reading just works a little better for some reason in some cases. But like on a hard rock map, sight reading, that just feels really harsh.
Ooh, it's gonna be Draystar coming in.
Roster from South Korea, Hyper W7, Abstract, and Draystar 3. Huge names, right? Abstract, the #1 score farm. Hyper W7, the #1 in the PP ranking. Draystar, probably the best spinner in the entire game. Then, alright, we're getting started already. So, Hyper W7, Abstract, and Draystar facing off Bunray, Crowley, and Roido. Winners semifinals. South Korea versus Philippines. The winner is guaranteed of a top 3 position once again. So, huge stakes for both teams, especially the Philippines. They want to get on that top 3 position for the very first time in their careers. And 3 coming up. Air 8.3, 3 minutes 18 in length.
See, early accuracy drops on the side of South Korea and Philippines, as Boonray and Hyper W had that, but Roido and Hyper W gonna be trading misses there, followed with Draystar, so early combo advantage to the Philippines, followed by Abstract. No full combos on the side of South Korea now.
A really shaky start coming in from South Korea. Seems like a really solid pick coming in from the Philippines, but only about a quarter into the map just yet. Corrali and Bunray still with the full combat. A double miss coming from the Philippines, and that's going to switch it back to South Korea immediately, I believe. Look at that scoreboard going back in favor of the red side. Roido above that 200 combo mark, same with W7. Draystar and Abstract coming to that 200 combo mark, but Crowley and Bunray, that double miss is going to give the advantage to South Korea.
Boonray, Roido, and Hyper W and Abstract all dropping. Draystar, the only one above 200 combo, as Boonray drops again. Crowley getting up to 200 combo right before the break, as we see Roido drop there as well.
A lot of misses, uncharacteristic misses, even from Roy in particular. I feel like Crowley, the sold Wolf on Philippines right now with a 200 plus combo. Draystar is countering that one. So we have a 30,000-40,000 lead currently, so I believe that's 1 or 2 misses separating these two teams right now. Already halfway into this map as well.
Abstract, Hyper W getting up to 200 combo as Bunray and Crowley drop. And that score is going to continue climbing in favor of South Korea as Roido is getting up to 200 combo. Doing all he can to stop the bleeding for his team, but gotta wait for his two other teammates to catch up with him.
Couple miss going in from South Korea, trading those miss from Crawley and Bunray, so that's the score is going to be decreasing in favor of Philippines. But then again, a double miss coming in from Philippines as well. Both teams keep double missing, but that is already a 100,000 point advantage to South Korea. A quarter of the map left. We need to see multiple misses coming from South Korea, otherwise it's going to be a break point. A lot of unchristic misses, I feel like. We're the only one above 200 combo on the Philippines side, with Hyper W countering once again on the South Korean side. We're already in a little slower section, fewer notes to be caught, so that is in favor of South Korea, really.
And it seems just as Philippines catch a break with South Korea missing, as we see right there, Hyper W, Crowley, and Bunray dropping. It just seems like Philippines will just drop about a couple combo right after South Korea.
Yeah, definitely. All misses keep being traded by the Philippines. Even more trades coming from Philippines than from South Korea. So this should be a clean victory for South Korea, I feel like. 3 misses once again. Hyper W, the highest combo in the room, 180 combo. We're already at the end of the map. Quite slow ending, and that's going to be a breakpoint in favor of South Korea. Solid performance coming from them. Philippines didn't play bad by any means, but just some really unfortunate timings to miss, and not a person that kept on holding combo, whilst Draystar in the beginning, definitely with that 560 combo, kept it going for his team. 12 misses on the side of South Korea, whilst there are 27 on the Philippines side, so South Korea definitely playing up and in a really high level on the opponent's pick. But now South Korea is allowed to pick, and I'm assuming they're going to be going for double time 1 AR 9 DT. Definitely switch things up, right? Go from that AR 8.3 hidden to double AR 9 DT. That is brutal. I'm assuming double time 1 is going to be coming.
Yeah, I would say either double time or a hard rock pick, especially after that slower AR hidden.
Yeah, definitely. South Korea has to confirm this breakpoint, right? So they can look at a 2-0 scoreline instead of a 1-1 scoreline. And double time 1 is probably best for that. Also, Rockman mapped it South Korean mapper as well. So perhaps a small advantage there. There's also a Filipinian mapper in the Nomad pool, Momo X mapped Nomad 4, and he's from the Philippines, but Rockman mapped Hidden 1 as well. So actually Gemzu mapped Hard Rock 1 as well, so it's 2-2 in mappers from both countries, actually, so that's tied. Gemzu actually mapped the tiebreak as well. 3-2 for the Philippines.
And it is going to be double time 1. Showdown, the Rockma map.
This map is really brutal. A lot of how would you call it? It's really fast. It's a sprint, not a marathon. A lot of stacks that are really hard to catch, and immediately 3 players from South Korea are being switched out. So we see Abstract. Actually, Abstract played the last weapon, never mind. But CWC and Rels coming in for South Korea. So that's 2 new players, right? They haven't played that hidden. Whilst on the Philippines side, Roido and Bunray are going to stay in the entire match, right? They play everything. It's 2 players that have to switch from AR 8.3 to AR 10.3, so that's going to be hurting Philippines more. I feel like Kielzu being that 3rd player for the Philippines, also a solid double time hard to player though. So I feel like both teams have their best rosters, but currently, given now only 1 player from South Korea played that hidden map, I am giving the advantage to South Korea, plus it's their pick. And again, if Roido and Bunray just go absolute ham on this one, I feel like this can definitely go Philippines as well.
Yeah, it possibly could, but a map this fast, a couple mistakes in the beginning, well, really anywhere in the map, could seal the deal for your team on this pick.
Yeah, any miss is going to be hurting your score a lot. Only 1 minute 20 in length, so 80 seconds. It's over in a blink, so sure to not miss it, definitely. Roido claiming once again he's sight reading. Not too certain. Perhaps this is definitely some mental type of game he's playing, trying to
Some 4D chess going on, perhaps.
Yeah, I feel like it's a mental thing. I believe Ford is going to be playing with Hidden, and he is. Going to be the only player, I do believe, Kels, who doesn't play HDDT, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not mistaken. So we're the only one using that Hidden modifier. For the record, Hidden modifier does not change your score. It's purely for reading purposes. Some players prefer it. Makes you have to look higher up on the screen so you don't... you see the first drop fast or something. I'm not too certain. Some people prefer it, and it is allowed, in fact, only on double time and hard and on the tiebreak as well.
Ooh, QWHJ with that first drop.
The stacks are coming up. We're missing the beginning part. Yeah, definitely.
Traded with Rose.
Small advantage for the Philippines, but it's about time, I feel like. Abstract is about to combo. Same with QWH. But the hard part's coming. Royal missing, though. Advantage for South Korea.
Yoshi finding couple drops there. Abstract drop. Funray drop. No more combos left on the board.
2 combos on South Korea are putting so much gold. Rels in QWH right now. Look at that score already. 200,000 points in the lead. Kales about to but dropping once again. Funray dropping once more. 3 combos in South Korea. No combos on Philippines. The map's almost over. Look at South Korea going QWH and Rels right now. 300,000 points in favor. Abstract as well. Roydo dropping once more. This one is sealed already. What a performance from South Korea. 400,000 point difference. Obviously, it's a really short map, so that score bar is going to be increasing really rapidly if you keep on missing on the Philippine side. But then again, 3 million score surpassed by South Korea, and this pick's absolutely insane. Singular miss on Rels and QLH, 2 misses on Abstract, 4 misses on South Korea on this one, whilst the Philippines have 41 misses. Dominant play from South Korea and the ideal pick. I find the miss from QLH at the beginning was weird because you probably would have assess the map, I feel like, but then again, solid performance. All 2 QWH and Rels above 1 million score as well. I believe there's only one player that has done so as well in the semifinals, but I'm not too sure. Perhaps it was Otto, but I'm not too certain on that though. Either way, solid performance from South Korea. Wow. Hand died.
That was a dominant performance, and if you're Philippines, you're going to be wanting to stay away from that other double time pick, I would reckon.
South Korea's double time team is just so solid. Abstract, Rels, QWH, I think they can play basically anything at this point with double time. Double time 3 is a little easier though, so perhaps my favorite Philippines a little, but then again, we see Hidden 2 coming in, as to be expected. Air 8, mapped by Dave. 2 minutes 22 in length. Trying to switch that momentum back into their favor, Philippines. I'm assuming we're going to be seeing Bunray, Crowley, and Roydo, the Philippine side, and then South Korea can be playing with Hyper W7, probably the same roster as last time, so Abstract and Draystar. Perhaps Perea instead of Draystar, but assuming Draystar in the end.
And I'm curious to see how Abstract, Bunray, and Roydo are going to do after playing a really, really fast map like Double Time 1, coming into a low AR hidden. It's going to be interesting to see how they do, how they adapt to the rapid speed change.
Yeah, definitely. South Korea did not have any issues with adapting, right? Abstract just went from Air 8.3 to Air 10.3. He's now switching back to Air 8. Doesn't affect the person for some reason. Draystar, Hyper W7 haven't played that faster AR DT, so they're still used to that slower hidden AR. Again, such a dominant performance from South Korea, surpassing 3 million score. Not a bad play by Philippines, but they did struggle a little in the end. Bunray kept the combo, I think, until 400, which was huge for their team. There's nothing you can do against such a South Korea. And I mean, in later rounds, South Korea, the maps are going to get harder on double time, so that's definitely a favor of South Korea because they scale so incredibly hard.
Oh yeah, if there was one team to scale all the way to grand finals, it's the South Korean roster.
Surely, definitely even. 2 coming up, map by Dave. 2 minutes 22 in length, Air 8 hidden. We see it early miss coming from Bunray, traded by WW7. Bunray dropping once more, so small advantage in favor of South Korea as of right now.
Abstract
dropping.
Boonray finding a couple drops there, just seems to be struggling with those Bud slider sections.
Boonray doesn't even have an A rank right now, so he's definitely struggling currently. Whilst Dracer and Happy W7 are just cruising right now together with Royo and Crowley. So small advantage for South Korea. Bunray dropping once more. They have to keep holding on to combo as of right now because that score is increasing in favor of South Korea.
Crowley
and F6, yeah, they're trading that singular miss. Royo still with a full combo as well as Draystar.
Bunray hitting up to that 200 combo mark. Just before they get it, they drop. That's tragic as we see Abstract building up to 200 combo, followed by Crowley, and score advantage is going to be in favor of South Korea still as Crowley finds another miss.
This pick is backfiring for Philippines right now. Rodo right now putting in a huge performance, but Bunray and Crowley not being able to support that one. Draystar as well. Rodo dropping, Bunray dropping. No combos on Philippines. Hype W trading, but Draystar and Abstract currently still holding on. Draystar with a full combo. This is his playground, it seems like. Really enjoying this one. Still holding on. Crowley and Hype W is trading, but it's already a 200,000 point difference in favor of South Korea. Is there any way for the Philippines to come back from this? I don't think there is. Hype W missing once more. Bunray trading it. Royo hitting 200 combo, but I mean, look at Draystar go 900 combo and counting right now.
And it would show that the switch from double time 1 to low AR hidden is rapidly backfiring for the Philippines right now as that score is still growing for South Korea. Unless a disconnect happens, there's no way Philippines are going to be getting back in this pit.
I'd say that as well. Crowley and Royo getting up to 200 combo again. As soon as I say that, though. Bunray and Hype W trading earlier on. But Draystar right now. Crowley dropping once more. Bunray dropping once more. It doesn't matter. But all eyes on Draystar. Is he going to be full comboing his hidden pick? I believe he is, and that's the only full combo on his hidden pick in the entire semifinals. Huge performance once again coming from Korea. 330,000 points in difference. FC from Draystar. Abstract as well, apart from those early mishaps. Getting a lot of score for his team, and I mean, is there anything you can do against this South Korean powerhouse if this is the level they're putting their gameplay on? I don't think there is. Philippines 2 breakpoints behind already. South Korea breaking the Philippines once again. Royo with a 5 miss coming in, not too bad. Same for Crowley, but Bunray kind of bottlenecked for Philippines. Didn't really adjust from that high AR double time to that low AR hidden all too well. But I mean, if you have Draystar on your team, there's not a lot you can do if you're the Philippines, I feel like. Then again, South Korea's pick now. They're probably going to be hopping into that hard work bracket, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I could see them going with double time 3 to clear out the double time pool, considering their dominant performance on DT1. That or going into that hard rock pool, as you said. I can really see a hard rock 2 going on.
Yeah. Or perhaps they just go for hidden 1, right? Take away that lost hidden pick from Philippines. But they've won twice on hidden, trying to assert dominance in some way, but they've been doing that for 3 picks in a row already. Philippines should probably be hopping into that Nomad bracket. I feel that that one is mostly favored for them, as in the biggest chance of getting a point on Nomad. Stay away from hidden. This hasn't been working. That first one was relatively close, but that second one was absolutely in favor of South Korea. I mean, I'm looking forward to what South Korea can be bringing to further rounds here, because they're definitely going to the final sweep because they're in the winners brackets. Map pools get even harder. Assuming Air 9.2, DTs will be coming up in the grand finals even. So, I mean, South Korea is looking absolutely amazing. And we see Hardrock 1 coming in, so they do dab into that Hardrock pool. Map by Gemzu, so they're picking a map from a opinion mapper. I think it matters all too much to the Philippines. It's a map like any else. Then again, Hardrock 1, 2 minutes 20 in length. Once again, a relatively short pick. Longer picks are being avoided, except for that hidden dream one. Really great song, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I would say, depending on how the Philippines does here against South Korea. If it's a relatively close matchup, I could see them choosing Hard Rock 2. But if it's like how all the other maps have been, and it's South Korea's point, then they're gonna have to go Nomad, I would believe.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like Nomad 2, Nomad 3 are fully actually not Nomad 2. I think Nomad 3 is the best pick for the Philippines right now. It's relatively straightforward to play. It's not too hard, it's not too gimmicky, so that feels like the perfect pick for Nomad 3. Either way, we see Kagamine Rin making his debut in this match. It's a hidden hard truck. If I'm not mistaken, he's going to be choosing the hidden modifier with his hard truck, most likely. Roido and Bunray staying in once again. Roido once again claiming he didn't play the map. I'm not too certain if he's actually joking as of right now. It might be the case because he was expecting South Korea to be so dominant, so he didn't want to put the time into practice map pool. I'm not too certain. Either way, Kagamine Rin, Roido, Bunray versus Rels, CWC, and Hyper W7 on Hard Truck 1. Early slippers to be seen. Everyone getting up to 200 combo, most likely, so that's great to see. A slower section coming up now, but then it gets faster once again with a lot of streams, if I'm not mistaken. So everyone above 200 combo. Scoreline's tight. There's some accuracy drops on Kagamine, Rin, and Rel, but those shouldn't matter in the end.
And it's really, other than those accuracy drops, not much to talk about. All players still holding on to a full combo.
Definitely. This seems like to be one of the closer maps from this pool.
Should we see Kagamine and Hyper W trading misses there, so scoreline's not going to change at all.
Seeing Kagamine Rin dropped a couple of more notes.
If anything, just slight favor of South Korea.
Yeah, only slightly. Roido and Bunray, Rels, and QDO is still holding on to a full combo. 2 assists on the board, even Roido and QDH with those SSs. Only halfway to the map, so still a lot of fruits to be caught. Everyone above 200 combo. A small advantage for South Korea, but it's about 5,000 to 2,000 points, I feel like. Nothing too huge.
And Roido is going to drop. Same with Boomray. And that score is going to start climbing for South Korea. And at this break point, South Korea sees those 2 drops on the side of Philippines and know that they have a chance to take this 4th point.
And they know they're the advantage, and Rels and QH are just cruising right now, approaching their 4-digit combo mark. PW7 recovered quite nicely from that early slip, but Kagamine Rin dropping once more. That's going to be given even more score advantage in favor of South Korea. South Korea is not giving an edge right now, only a singular miss.
And with over 100,000 score difference and not much map left to play, South Korea is going to be getting this 4th point.
Rels dropping once more, but it doesn't matter. Just unfortunate to not get that FC in the end.
CWC.
Yeah, 2 misses on South Korea. What can you do? They're not actually 3 misses. My apologies. Hyper W7 actually wins 2 modes in a row instead of 1. But then again, 3 misses on Hyper W7. I mean on South Korea. 21 misses on Philippines. Yeah, there's not a lot of room given by South Korea for the Philippines to act on. They're just cruising through the semifinals map pool.
QWHJ, that lone full combo. Just 1 or 2 droplet misses off of that double S. Amazing performance by them, but it's Philippines' pick now, and I would not be surprised if we see them dip into the Nomad bracket, go that Nomad 3, like you said earlier.
Yeah. The thing is with Wardo, I've come to know that he has a... not too certain what the name of the issue is, but he has an issue with his hand, so his hand hurts a lot while playing. So he's claiming that he stopped playing because of his hand just hurting too much. It's really unfortunate to see for Roido, right? He's really struggling on harder map pools, not being able to fully give himself because of these physical issues. Hoping they can be resolved, but I'm not too certain if they are chronic or not. But then again, I find it sad to see for Roido because he's a player with a lot of potential, but he's just not being able to give all of his potential currently just because of his hand bottlenecking him.
Yeah, no matter what a fan of, no matter who you root for, you gotta hope for the health of all players. You gotta wish them all the best. And it's just unfortunate to see an issue like this really affecting Roido.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. We're waiting their pick, but I'm assuming Nomad 3, Nomad 4 is going to be coming in. Actually, Nomad 3 it is. They listen to us, Elix. Wise choice, I do believe. Again, it's a long map, so this might actually bottleneck Roido once again. Probably hurting his hands even more.
But if there is a map that Philippines can steal a point from South Korea on, I do believe it is this Nomad 3 pick.
Yeah, indeed. Roido's going to be resting, actually. Perhaps Rusty coming in. Yeah, definitely. So we see Bunray, Kyeolju, and Rusty coming in for the Philippines. Fortunately for Roido, take care, Roido. Definitely try to take some rest. For Rusty, some playtime on his Nomad as well. Rusty, a debutant for CWC this year. He's skyrocketed through the ranks in the past year. I believe he's now in the top 150 or top 200, I'm not too sure, but definitely a new addition to the Philippines team, replacing Momo X, the mapper of Nomad 4 from last year. So, see on Rusty trying to get some more of that experience going for future editions of CWC.
And we see Berea making their debut in this matchup on side of South Korea. So, barring any last-minute substitutions, it's going to be QWHJ, Hyper W, and Berea. South Korea, Kyeolju, Bunray, and Rusty for Philippines. Philippines wanting to steal a point away from South Korea with this Nomad 3 big, and I do believe this is the map that they can do it on. South Korea wanting to make it 5-0, wanting to keep this clean sweep alive.
A really scary roster once again coming from South Korea. Happy to be 7 QWH, Berea. But a solid roster from Philippines as well. This map is relatively lengthy, 3 minutes 40 in length. It plays relatively nicely, it flows nicely. There's a couple of wiggles that are quite harsh, or some tap dashes, but most players should be quite accustomed to those because I believe they're the current mapping meta. So this map is probably one of the easier maps in the Nomad pool, together with Nomad 4, I feel like. So then again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And Rusty making his first appearance here for Berea, so perhaps some nerves on both players.
And the first drop's going to come on the side of Philippines as Rusty in that hyperchain section. He had to miss a couple notes there. Other than that prop, go on.
All two players of South Korea still have the double. That's currently Rusty dropping once more. Another decent start coming from Philippines. Early fans for South Korea.
Bunray, QWHJ, all dropping, no full combo on the side of Philippines anymore, as Hyper W and Berea still double S-ing.
Rusty's struggling a little. I feel like he's overshooting actually, so he's going too fast. So once again, drop from Rusty coming in. Kills from Bunray trying to get above that 2 combo. Double miss coming once again from the Philippines. Bunray as well missing. Things falling apart for the Philippines right now, and Hyper W7 and Berea are just cruising right now. 150,000 score difference already. Pick is probably not the best choice. But then again, South Korea is not giving any chances right now, not any leeway either. Bunray, Kyeolju, and Rusty are trying to build the combo back up, but Berea and Hyper W7 are still holding on to a full combo, so they need to see more miss coming from South Korea if they want to take this point. Rusty dropping once more, Kyeolju as well, so a lot of miss to be seen on the Philippines side. Kyeolju once more dropping. Berea and Hyper W7 once again, both of them approaching the 4-digit combo mark, just cruising through this map. This is their play game. This is easy for them. 50,000 score difference already, only halfway into the map. Again, we need to see at least, I believe, 10 or 12 miss even coming in from South Korea before this switches back to the Philippines.
Oh yeah, we would need to see a complete meltdown on the South Korean side, as Berea still holding that full combo, but finally losing that double S.
IBW still holding on to that double S though, so really nice coming from them. A meltdown happening on the South Korean side just seems so unlikely, right? They have so much experience in playing tournaments, so... Burma has their combo back up quite nicely. Same for Kielzu, Rusty above 200 as well, so score is going to stabilize at 250,000 points. That is a huge score difference.
Yosu's gonna drop as soon as they get up to that 200 combo mark, and the score is gonna continue climbing now.
Royal not being here is definitely hurting Philippines a little, I feel like. Would it have mattered? Probably not, though. Berea, High W7 Cubase, all above 1,000 combo right now. Really solid performance from the three of them. Berea's debut in this match is being a full combo, it seems like, if he keeps holding on. Kelso dropping once more. Bunry above 1,000 combo as well. Recovered nicely apart from that early beginning. Rusty above 600 combo. Those early nerves are gone as well on his side. I believe it's just a little too late from the Philippines. SS on Hyper W7, FC on Berea, singular miss on QWH, 3 million scores surpassed once again. What can you do? I mean, this is just pure dominance from South Korea, and this is the team to beat in this tournament, right? These are the tournament's favorites, and they're just showing up right now. We're playing really well the past couple of weekends as well, but there were a couple of teams that were on their level because the maps were easier, but right now they're just taking such a huge step forward compared to anyone else. We haven't seen such a dominant performance from any team in this semi-final up until right now. So quite important for the Philippines to draw South Korea in the semi-final, because I believe other teams have given the Philippines more of a chance, but South Korea right now is just a pure dominance.
And seeing as how all the other picks went up, as soon as I was going to give my predictions on the South Korean pick, QWHJ beating me to it and choosing that no mod 2.
Yeah, I feel like this is probably the hardest no mod specific. I'm not too certain if you've played it already, Elix, but it features a lot of stacks and movable stacks as well. So stacks where you have to move, so if you miss up only slightly, you're missing 10 notes in a row. So a lot of back and forth as well. So decent pick coming from the South Koreans. One that is to be expected. I feel like Hard Rock 2 and Double Time 3 are relatively easy. Relatively, that is. But this one favors South Korea way more than those two. And one would have been a decent choice as well, I do feel like.
South Korea does not appear to be changing up their roster. As for Philippines, however, we see Rusty dropping out.
It's where they're coming in, or is Kagamine Rin, or is Kagamine Rin making the appearance once again? Not too familiar with Kagamine Rin's Nomad skills. He's been playing a lot of Hidden Heartbreak, I do believe, but then again, switching out Roydo is always going to be quite hard, given how competent Roydo is as a player, but those hands issues definitely hurting him. Then again, Hype W7, QWH, and Burris staying in for South Korea. Kagamine Rin coming in for having fun. That seems like a really solid game plan. Again, there is still a shot. I mean, South Korea is not giving a lot of chances, but as soon as they give you one, you should probably try to take it, but a really hard task.
It is not impossible, however improbable it is, as that 5-0 scoreline is quite scary looking if you're Philippines right now.
Definitely, but we might see a reverse sweep coming in, right? Roydo laying his hands rest a little and then just coming back to the room, and 7-6 for the Philippines. Who knows? We'll see. Again, No More 2 coming in, map by Reaper. It gets harder around 100 combo after the spinner. Here we go. First miss coming in from Kielzu. Kagamine Rin dropping once again to only single full combo on the Philippines side. Berea, QWH, and Hyper Duty 7 hitting 200 combo together with Bunray. Early advance for South Korea, 2 missing the lead, but those miss were before point combos, so nothing too huge for the Philippines just yet.
As we see Kiyosu getting up to that 200 combo mark, Kagamine Rin right behind him. and that bleeding is gonna stop. But Kagamine Rin is gonna drop as soon as they get that 200 combo, and that score is gonna continue climbing for South Korea.
Triple double S coming from South Korea. Some people wiggling that stack. That is ballsy, I feel like. Again, South Korea just cruising right now. Kagamine Ring dropping once more. Kjeld, Brunrate dropping as well. No full combos to be seen on Philippines. Kjeld with a 500 combo. Something is coming from him, but already a 200,000 score difference in favor of the South Korea. Kagamine Ring dropping a lot of nodes there. Starting a little on that stack, but it's South Korea with a triple FC. A little break coming in, 2 double S's even on QH and CWC. Actually, no break, but just a spinner. My apologies. L2 recovered nicely from those early mishaps, so he is a quite high combo as well. But I mean, looking at 3 full combos coming from the South Korean side, Kagamine Ring above 200 Bunry as well. So the score difference is going to remain the same, but actually Kagamine Ring dropping as soon as I say that. It's already 300,000 points, or close to 300,000 points, so the map's only a quarter left. We need to see once again an absolute meltdown.
UWHJ though, losing that full combo.
Once again, Beret and HyperW7 the 2. Actually, HyperW7 dropping once again. Beret, the only full combo left in the room. An eighth of the map left. Probably going to be seeing this one. Kjeld and Kagamine Ring dropping right at the end. Bunry with a 600 combos. Solid performance coming from them. Beret right now, though. Is he going to be full combo? He probably is. Also, Kagamine Ring double miss for the Philippines.
And Berea is.
Once again, South Korea surpassing the 30 million score. Only 5 misses on their side. Philippines had 76, so definitely throwing a little more. But Berea currently at a 100% FC rate in this semifinal. That is absolutely insane, right? FC No More 3, FC No More 2 just did his job. Not too sure what Philippines is going to be picking, but if it's not going to be known, I think Berea is going to be subbed out, so that means Berea is just probably going to be the best player from the semi-final, because he just is a 100% FC rate. Solid performance from Berea. W7 and QH with a little slip-up, but Philippines just not able to capitalize on that.
And with that match point, South Korea 6, Philippines 0 right now, and I want to see Philippines get at least 1 point on the board against this South Korean roster.
Yeah, so do I, but I feel like the map is already too hard for the Philippines to be able to counter South Korea. If they would have faced off in a group stage scenario, just like Philippines and Italy did, I think that Philippines would have a decent shot of beating South Korea even, but this map was probably just a little too hard, and Roido lacking for the Philippines is definitely hurting them as well. I mean, South Korea is just performing out of their minds. Looks, have you ever seen a team play this well like this? It's absolutely insane.
It is, and and you would think that South Korea losing some key players from last year would falter a tiny bit, but that is not the case at all, as they are looking as strong as ever.
Definitely. I mean, they lost Motion, Rockma, Spectator. All 3 of them are in the top 20 of the world. Those were replaced by Abstract, Draystar, and Rels, if I'm not mistaken. And HyperW7 making his comeback as well. Then again, look at South Korea. Honestly, I would like to see a South Korea versus South Korea matchup. I'm curious to see how this team, South Korea, performs versus the team from last year. Because honestly, I think this team might even be better. We all expect the South Korea to be a little weaker somewhat because they lost Motion, they lost Rockmine, they lost Spectator, but look at how they're playing currently. Don't think they would lose against South Korea from last year. This team is even better, I feel like. Perhaps a little biased just because of their performance right now. We'll have to see how they perform on a potential Grand Finals map pool, which you're most likely getting to because South Korea has a match point already. But then again, I think this team is just even stronger than last.
And even though a no-mod map did get picked, we do see Berea subbing out. So if South Korea do win this point, then Berea will have 100% full combo rate. But it is going to be Hyper W, Draystar, and Rels for South Korea, Kyosu, Bunray, and Rusty for Philippines. Philippines, They're wanting to get a point on the board. They're wanting to prevent the clean sweep. Can they do it with this Nomad 4 pick? Or will South Korea take it away with the clean sweep?
There is definitely a shot. I feel like this map in particular, it's easy just to miss anywhere, so that counts for South Korea as well. So there might be a lot of more chances for Philippines if Bunray, Kaletor, and Rusty can control their nerves. I'm not too certain if they still feel nerves, actually, just looking at that 6-0 score, and they probably already accepted their fate. But again, I feel like this map might be the one for the Philippines. Rusty with an early miss, though.
Rusty and Bunray dropping. Kyosu, the only one above 200 combo right now for Philippines. Hyper W dropping.
Trade coming from Hyper W. Once again, early advantage for South Korea has been the narrative of this entire match, right? Philippines not being able to get that early advantage is really hurting them. Kale2 right now versus Rels and Racer. Bunray and Rusty above 200 combo. W above 200 combo right now as well. Only one miss.
Kyosu dropping. Followed with Rusty. No full combos on the side of Philippines. Bunray trying to keep their team in it. Rose dropping. Draystar the only full combo holding a double S. So we see Rusty drop, followed with Kyosu.
Already a 150,000 score difference because this map's relatively short, and in Draystar still holding a full combo, putting a lot of score for South Korea. Might seal the deal for Philippines currently. We need to see once again an absolute meltdown coming from the South Korean side. It is possible though in this map because it's easy to choke anywhere. Then again, all three of them are above 200 combo, while Scales and Rusty are still building combo right now.
Rusty back up to 200 combo. Kyosu wanting to get there, and there it is. Leading stopped for Philippines, and now they are going to need to see a complete meltdown from South Korea if they want to have a chance to get back in, but Rusty's going to drop.
South Korea is cruising towards that clean sweep. Really solid performance coming from them. Rails dropping once more though. Op miss, didn't tap dash there, but it shouldn't hurt South Korea once again. A 7-0 score, and burn rate though really their combo back up right now. They recovered really nicely from that early miss up. Rusty and Kales with double missing for the Philippines, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. South Korea taking Noma forward, a 200,000 score difference, and a full combo, even as it's coming from Draystar, and a clean sweep in favor of South Korea. This match was over in a blink, really, just because of how dominant South Korea is. But that means we have a second podium finisher in South Korea. So that means South Korea and Hong Kong are on the podium. And I believe there's still 8 countries in contention for that third spot. Actually, 6, my apologies, for that third spot. And after today, 2 more countries are going to be eliminated. And then the remaining 4 countries will be battling it out in the loser bracket next weekend on a finals map. Actually, there's 7 countries. So there's Australia, Canada, United States, China, Russia, France, and the Philippines fighting for that third podium spot. 2 of them already next week, being France and the Philippines, and then the remaining teams are still there's still 3 more matches to come with the remaining teams to decide which 2 teams are going to be joining France and Philippines for that battle for top 3. So we see United States and Australia going to be facing off against each other in a little over an hour. So we're going to be taking a break, and then a loose bracket match between the United States and Australia.
And the winner of that matchup, they're going to have a gauntlet ahead of them as they're going to be facing China.
I mean, the fact that one of the 2 podium finishers from last year is going to be knocked out after today, the podium finishers being USA and China, is insane. They're not even getting into the top 6. That just explains how strong this bracket is this year, right?
Oh yeah, it makes me a bit excited to see what future tournaments hold.
So do I. I feel like South Korea is just being absolutely dominant right now, but all the other teams are just really close to each other. Hong Kong being one of those top 3 finishers, but people are a little scared about the scaling, a little worried about the scaling, right? But then again, all these other teams, Russia as well, their best CWC performance up to date. Same goes for Philippines. I believe France, their best CWC performance is 4th or 5th, so they're close to beating that as well. Canada, I'm not too certain if they've ever been in the top 8, but they are right now. So, I mean, a lot of teams have made huge step forwards this past year, and they're definitely in contention for those top 3 positions. So many more teams compared to last year's. Last year's was mostly South Korea, China, USA, Chile, right? Those 4, they just try to get to that point, and all the rest is just battling it out a little more behind. But right now, a lot of teams are close to China. I mean, Chile is already knocked out. Italy, 4th place from last year, is knocked out. Chile, 5th place from last year, is knocked out. We're going to be losing a podium finish for last year as well this weekend. So 3 teams not making it out of the semifinals that were top 5 last year is really odd to see, I feel like. That just explains how incredibly exciting this CWC is in particular.
Yeah, though, with that being said, United States, Australia, happening in about an hour from now. Take a small break, get some food, use the bathroom, do what you need to do. We'll be back here in 1 hour.
Totally. Elix, I'd like to thank you for commentating this one with me. It was decided on the get-go, but it definitely was really nice to be sitting here next to you, virtually that is, and to be witnessing such a dominant performance from South Korea. So once again, thank you very much for commentating this one with me.
Always a pleasure, Quentin. Always a pleasure. Really happy that I got a chance to cast with you this year.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. I really enjoyed it as well. Let's try to get some more casts in the upcoming 2 weeks, because there's still 2 more weekends left. There's this finals week and grind of finals week, but then again, 3 matches left today. United States versus Australia coming up soon. After that, Russia and Canada are going to be played, but I believe the United States or Australia are going to be facing off against China before that. So both of those teams one of those teams having 2 matches today to stay in the tournament, because they're in the semifinals loser bracket. We're going to be taking a little break. We'll see you guys soon, so definitely make sure to tune in for within an hour, and I think that all is said and done. So everyone, take care, and we'll see you later today.